Welcome back, as always, to Stack Your Points. I'm Matt from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel, joined by RJ from our lovely little show. RJ, how are you today?
I'm doing well. The Packers won on Sunday. Unfortunately, I'm watching the Vikings currently beating the Bears, and I want both teams to draw, to borrow a soccer term. So it's fine, but the Packers are still the best team in the division.
Right now, you don't want them to draw because if they go into a tie, they go into overtime and you could lose your fantasy match.
Okay, that is fair. That is fair. You corrected me with math.
Math is not always your enemy. Sometimes, very rarely, it is your friend. We're also joined by Craig, KidCat37, as always, from our Discord. Craig, how are you today?
I am doing well. It's been a beautiful day, and I'm just excited to see you guys. Didn't see you last week, so it's just nice to see your beautiful faces.
Thank you so much, Craig. We're looking forward to our topics and questions. So thank you there. And finally, last but not least, we're joined by Lonnie from the Call Me Lonnie YouTube channel, not wearing his Uno shirt from members only videos today.
There we go. Come off mute. I'm not wearing that shirt because I think I recorded Q&A video in 3 different settings across 3 different days. So yes, I am wearing a shirt because that was actually not recorded today. And I'm also here because I too did not win the Powerball, so I'm here with the rest of you tonight.
You know what's annoying about the Powerball? The Stewart's gas station that I stop at on Route 9 the most between where I live and where my partner lives, somebody bought a ticket and won $50,000.
Nice. Good for them.
No, it wasn't me, so I am not happy.
No sarcasm. Literally happy for them.
That's fair.
I will say, if I ever win a substantial amount of money, there is not a person outside of like my parents and my accountant that are ever gonna know. I will show up and I will do this podcast, and somebody's gonna edit it. That's not me that I pay that you guys will never know about. No.
I don't want. I know this sounds bad, but I don't think I could tell my wife because I couldn't trust her not to tell anyone else.
She's just gonna wonder where the money is coming from every month.
I'd hide it somewhere, but yeah, I might have to let you go if you let that cat out of the bag because that just brings in more problems.
The Guinness
My
record
wife and I have
for
already
the
talked about
longest
it.
time not telling your partner you won the lottery.
It's
We
when
have a
she
full
finds
plan.
the account in the Caymans.
Babe, either you are a kingpin or we've won the lottery, and I'm really hoping one of these answers is true. I'm not sure which.
The new house is paid for. What do you want? You want answers or you want to move in? What's it going to be?
Why is the new house 7 times larger with 18 more bathrooms? That's going to be the bigger question.
You want answers or you want to move in? You only get one. You want answers or you want to move it in? You choose answers, you're not moving in.
Wow. There we go. And I am 45,000 True Blue points poorer tonight after doing some bookings for flights. This is why we play this game. Yeah, I'm treating me and my partner to even more to and from Detroit of all places, but
hey, Detroit has some wonderful things to do.
We're literally flying in on Friday for a wedding on Saturday and leaving on Sunday.
I understand. I'm doing the same thing for Vermont later this month.
Yeah. That was I booked a hotel, booked a suite in the hotel that the bride and groom have their own block of rooms for. And I just went, no, I'm a book a suite. And then made sure to ask my partner, hey, can you ask the bride if this is okay? Because I just realized that's a thing I should probably ask. Apparently the bride has no problems with it.
No, I don't care. I'm sorry. If you give me a hotel and I want a different room and you didn't get this room, that is a you problem. That is not a me problem.
It's the same thing of know who you travel with, because if I have to wait for you in TSA or you can't get in the lounge, wow, that's crazy.
I get to break out the pre-check this time, so I'm excited about that. Not having to take off my shoes. Life's going to be good. Yeah, so there we go. My True Blue balance is done. I got to go about rebuilding it. I know it's just transfer points. Although True Blue is doing a point sale right now with 130% bonus. So maybe I'll just restock them that way. I'm not doing that. Anyway, we're going to move to a quick news roundup. And we got a couple various pieces of news to go through, and then we'll jump into topics. American Express, we've got new Delta card offers. The Delta Personal Reserves got 125,000 miles offer out there, 125,000 on the business. Personal Platinum's 90K, business is 100K. Personal Gold is 80K, business is 90K. Nobody cares about the blue Delta card because that card is trash. It's not trash, but it's not great.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, Amex is reducing their transfer rate with Emirates, which is a far sight better than Chase because Chase is just ending their relationship with Emirates in October. On September 17th, transfers will go from 1-to-1 to 5-to-4. If you want that 1-to-1 transfer to Emirates, you'll need to make that transfer by 9/16. I don't know. Get it in by 9/16. I think it takes a couple business days with Emirates for that transfer to go through, but get it in beforehand. The Amex Business Platinum, the 35% rebate is changing to on September 18th, which just happens to be the day we think the new Platinums are going to drop. Only selected airlines going forward. So currently with the Amex Business Platinum, you can get a 35% point rebate when booking your travel with points in the Amex travel portal, which works out to about 1.54 cent per point redemptions. And you can set this up with any airline. Going forward, you pick one and that's it.
I have a feeling, and I don't know anything and I haven't seen any leaks. I have a feeling when they launch the new Platinum that the portal and selecting things ahead of time are going to be either a requirement like something like this or heavily pushed. They're going to tie things to those selections. I don't know if they're going to introduce it for hotels, but they're going to tie it in a way that nudges you maybe not so gently towards using their portal.
And probably nudges you not so gently to their specific transfer partners.
Yes.
If they would just give me 10x in the portal like everybody else, or even 8x at this point, I have no complaints.
I didn't realize 8x versus 10x in the portal was a huge fight to be had, but apparently it is. Also, American Express currently has a 25% transfer bonus to Hilton that is expiring, I want to say, toward the end of this month. So usually you see a 30% where you get 1 to 2.6. This is 1 to 2.5. Good to top up a reservation that, if you're a little short. Do you always want to do the Hilton? People prioritize the Hilton transfer bonus over just a straight transfer to Hilton. Whatever works for you. They're your points. Use them how you see fit. I'm not here to tell you what to do. You can earn 750 bonus avios on your next Hilton stay, stacks with regular Hilton points earning. So register on Hilton. So just check out your Hilton app, check out your Hilton website, sign in. There should be an option for that. Hilton's usually got a lot of promotions going on at any given time. 750 bonus avios is 750 bonus avios. Those avios can go around the avios circle as you see fit. Capital One Discover. Capital One released MLB tickets availability for as low as 5,000 miles. Is this for playoff? Is this setting up for playoffs? Craig, did you notice that when you put this in?
Yeah, I did. So I actually did a few dummy things. So you can book as far out as they'll just, sorry, not for playoffs, but this will give you for the current remaining lineup, and then
Okay.
they will give you up to 6,500 for playoff tickets, or as low as 6,500. Granted, again, you need to make sure that it's somebody that you actually want to see in the playoffs, but 6,500 for a playoff game, that's not bad.
Not at all. That's what, $65, and those tickets that they get reserved are really good tickets anyway.
They are.
This does not affect any Colorado Rocky fans because you guys got eliminated like a month and a half ago. I'm sorry. I'm not. Be a better team. Find Jesus again. And yeah, That works out. The Chase Sapphire Reserve has a new welcome offer of 125,000 points, just straight up, and this is on 6,000 in spend in the first 3 months. Thoughts on back-to-back all-time high offers? Something tells me that the initial 100,000 point plus $500 statement credit in the transfer portal, in the travel portal, didn't go over very well, and so they had to do something different. It'll be interesting to see how long this 125K welcome offer stays, because something tells me that they're not hitting the signups that they want to be hitting.
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Yes. Craig, Lonnie, any thoughts there?
I was just
Nope.
going to say, this just needs to be the standard offer. Just being realistic, the platinum is hitting you with 150,000 points over the head. So
Oh, yeah.
that's just me.
If this was the standard offer and maybe they loosen their little lifetime back to 48 months, this wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. People are getting caught up in the one lifetime, in the one sign up per lifetime, and that's for both the Sapphire Preferred and the Sapphire Reserve. And they're curious as to why they're not getting the welcome offers, and they're always getting the pop up window. It's because the language is now one per Sapphire,
which is just absolutely bonkers because you're still going to hit me with a new account and everything else if I open a preferred. So
this is why if you're going to hold both Sapphires, one of those Sapphires was not a Sapphire when it was born.
it's very true.
Also, Chase has brought back the Bonvoy Gold Challenge registration, has been extended to September 30th of 2025. You have 90 days to complete 3 paid stays that cannot be point bookings. You have to do 3 paid stays. You'll get gold status until February of 2027. Let me just say, while this is a interesting promotion, it was an interesting promotion before the refresh. Keeping this promotion after the refresh is beyond stupid. Just give us gold status. We're paying $795 to hold the card, and we're getting IHG Platinum, which is fine. Bonvoy Gold. Bonvoy Gold is given out like candy. Just give us Bonvoy Gold. Stop doing this.
Let's also just be realistic. We know the crowd here. Just give them high Discoverist.
That too. One or the other. Let me pick my status. Do something revolutionary for a change, Chase. Anyway, city-wise, there's a Wyndham transfer bonus of 25%. I think this is going on until early October, if I remember correctly. I want to say it's like October 2nd, something like that. General news, we've got Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy again. Maybe they came out of bankruptcy a little too quickly the first time.
Are you sad? Are you missing out?
For the school bus in the sky?
The caution tape?
Yeah. No, I'm missing nothing. Just all those poor planes that aren't being sold to other airlines to make Spirit a little bit of money on the way out. All those Airbuses just sitting there doing nothing. Oh no, they're flying
yet.
They're flying hard though. Yeah,
I wouldn't want them in. It's like a Honda in the front, a Hyundai in the back. I wouldn't want to buy those planes.
Yeah,
they're workhorses. They're probably going to need some overhauls. We've got the Apple event tomorrow. We're recording this in the overnight of September 8th into September 9th. So we've got the Apple event tomorrow. New iPhones are definitely launching. New Apple Watches are definitely launching. The only thing I'm looking out for is a new issuer for the Apple Card being announced tomorrow. It would be part of the iPhone setup, part of the iPhone announcement. Are Chase and Apple going to do like the smart thing and preempt the upcoming Platinum refresh by saying Apple Card at Chase?
The one more thing.
Yeah. They haven't done one more thing in a decade, but yeah.
I think it would make sense for some of the moves Chase has done recently felt like they were going to do some things and then they pulled them back.
Yeah.
So it would make a lot of sense. I'm more interested in how much money I'm going to spend. That is my personal pressing issue, which we will be talking about on the live on Thursday. I will be pulling up my order history to see. It's either going to be $0 or more than 300. if they give me an iPad Pro Mini, like it's an instant buy. Like it's my iPad Pro Mini or my iPad Mini is on its last leg. The battery lasts like an hour and it hurts me. So please, Apple, just give me Face ID. You don't even have to be like a high res screen. Just give me Face ID. Just give it to me. It's gonna be in the spring, but I can hope.
And I'm going to try out my first iPhone. So we will see how
There we
that
go.
goes.
I'm going in
So
on
nice.
26, so I can have folding,
Yeah.
which I understand you've had for like 6 years, Lonnie.
Yeah.
Fully admit that, but
Folding's not new to me.
I want iOS folding. That's all I want.
Folding's definitely not new to me. But
Yeah.
yeah, to have my two phones, one be, of course, Pixel 10 and the other be an iPhone. This is the first time I've ever used an iOS device as a daily driver. So I'm actually kind of excited to see the true differences. I am excited for Apple Pay to see how that compares to like Google Pay or Google Wallet, whichever one you want to call it. And so, yeah, I will be spending more than $300 after tomorrow's announcement.
I will say, just because I know you're a power user, productivity apps are a big shift. So be ready for that one, like calendars and stuff.
It was maybe a month or so ago when I bought my first iPad, and I've been enjoying it. I've actually, so like even here for the podcast, like during the questions, I'll write my notes down on there and I can erase them, which has been saving me a whole bunch of paper because, as my co-hosts know, I used to just write it down on paper and then toss it in my shredder over here. But now I don't have to do that. I'm saving paper.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been nice so far, but we'll see how the phone thing goes. I am going to go as deep with the first party Google stuff as I can because that's where I live, breathe, and die. But we will see. We shall see.
You can go pretty far with first party Google on iOS because Gmail is my primary mail app. Google Calendar, like when I need Google Calendar, I'll go to Google Calendar first. Google Maps.
Yep.
All day, every day.
I got to use Apple CarPlay in my car.
Sorry.
You can pick default apps now for a lot of things that you didn't used to be able to, which is very helpful. I will say, I've been using the Apple Mail app for 6 months, and I really like it. There's a couple of things that annoy me, but I don't want to have to pay for a mail app, and now a lot of mail apps won't put alerts. You have to pay for alerts. So the Apple Mail app is not trash anymore, which is nice.
It's really good for bulk destroying. If you are on countless newsletters, it puts those newsletters together. You can just swipe and delete like 300 of them at a time. Yeah, my inbox isn't a problem. No, I haven't declared email bankruptcy again. No. RJ, I'm going to predict that you're only going to spend about $249.
That is the current guess because that'll be the new AirPods Pro.
Yep.
If they come out with the Pro Maxes that I can turn off, I will buy them immediately. I will buy them immediately.
Yes. Yo, Apple's never going to do that.
I second that.
Just want to turn it off without a bra. That's all I want.
Apple doesn't care.
AirTags too. I'm actually
that would
interested.
be nice as well.
I'm actually interested in finally getting to use an AirTag. One, because I travel so much. I've used others. Samsung Tag works great, but some of the others don't work as great as much. So, like those tiny little things. I tried the spatial audio the other night. It didn't really wow me. One, because
it's
not
not
a lot
great unless you have the Max.
So I got the Sony 6 series. That also works for them, but it wasn't the headphones as much as the content. Not a lot of music I listened to was in there. Great. I can listen to Eminem Stan again.
I'll also say this for my perspective, unless you're hardwired in with a USB-C cord, It's not a great like the spatial works much better when you're wired in as opposed to just using wireless on my end. It's just meh.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'll probably have some questions for y'all, more frequent Apple users, as I get used to the new OS. I know it's crazy to think I'm a tech guy and I've never really used an iPhone as a daily driver. Have I used one before? Yes. Testing? Absolutely. Daily driver, as it's in my pocket when I leave the house? No, never done that. So it's weird. And I've already started reaching out to some folks like Fernando of Fern's Frugal Points and Miles. I think that's his channel name, but he's also the 9 to 5 Mac guy for y'all that
Yep.
don't know. So I've been reaching out to him and been talking to him and getting prepared. He's helped me a lot with my iPad. I'm going to annoy the crap out of him for my iPhone. I already know it.
Has he told you if the deal with Chase is done?
No, I have not talked to him about that.
All right. Y'all are going to spend some money. I'm going to sit back and wait and see what happens. Because I don't need a new phone this year. I just got the 16 last year. I don't have it in me to go to a whole new phone this year. And I got the Watch 10 last year, and apparently the watch is going to get redesigned next year. So I may as well just wait a year.
I got the Ultra this summer.
I got to get the watch, but that's also the other thing outside of AirTags is the fitness ecosystem. Not like Fitness Plus. I don't need the workouts, but just the tracking of it all. It's better than Fitbit. I know.
No.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I've missed out on.
It's legitimately very good.
Yeah.
Or if
So,
Apple launches a blood pressure cuff tomorrow, then I'll buy that.
yeah.
I'll say this: if they can get me better battery life on the Ultra 3, like if they can say like a truly sizable difference, I would do that because sometimes I just don't want to. I don't remember to charge my watch, even though I have the little contraption on my nightstand. Yeah,
Ultra's too thick for me, so I'll just probably go with the 11 series or the
I got a
26
chunky boy
series,
wrist.
whatever. Yeah, I don't.
No.
My wrist is about as thick as this Apple Pencil.
We had a couple other pieces of news. Frontier Million Mile and status match. For those of you who fly Frontier, I paid for Frontier Gold for the end of the year, but I didn't get the better offer that came out 3 weeks ago. Flying Blue has some promo rewards for September, 25% off economy from Boston, Chicago, Denver, Dulles, LAX, Vegas, New York City, and premium economy from DC. So there's that. And for whatever reason, Japan Airlines has a problem with their pilots showing up drunk and causing the planes to not be able to be flown on time. I don't think this is necessarily a Japan Airlines problem necessarily, because being an airline pilot is a very stressful job, and there are only so many ways that folks will find to alleviate that stress. Not necessarily the most healthy of ways, but things happen. But yeah, there are concerns with pilots arriving to work in not a state to fly, which is very dangerous for everyone.
Not to backtrack, I got one more Apple thing that I had thought of. Matt,
Hit me.
Apple One, where you get the cloud TV, music, arcade, news, whatever, all in one bundle, right?
Yep.
Starting next month, Chase is giving you $10 on Apple TV and Apple Music. They just killed it for anyone that wants to get Apple One. Because now you have to buy it twice if you want to take your Chase credit is for TV and music only. It's not for Apple One.
Yep.
So it's actually going to cost you more if you wanted the cloud in the arcade than just say, can I just get $20 off Apple per month?
I'm very curious to see. So this is operating in a world where the deal wasn't done. If the deal is done and if it's announced tomorrow, I have a feeling that they'll rework the credit after 6 months.
That would be great, especially as someone coming new into their ecosystem. That's also into points and miles and has a CSR card.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone can check all three of those boxes off. Maybe I can think of one person, but yeah, I want to save as much money as possible. And $10, I looked it up, man. Like one, I don't need Apple Music because I've already paid for YouTube Premium, and the YouTube Music Library is the largest online streaming library on this planet. I just happen to know that. So it's already better than music. Spatial audio didn't wow me. But $10.99, it would still cost me $12 a year. They didn't do that. Sorry, Chase. There's another thing you currently did not do right. Just like your competitors are coming to show face right now, all before October.
Yeah. I am hoping that deal, when it was struck, in a way that they could restructure it if they got further along with landing the Apple Card, because I have to imagine that relationship is going to be more than just Apple Card and more than this little credit on the Sapphire Reserve. Now, do I think you're going to get an Apple credit across the board? Maybe not, but the Freedoms will probably get 3 months of Apple Music for free if this deal is done. But I don't think this deal, I don't know, because I've been diligently looking all weekend just to see if I could find anything anywhere. I haven't found anything for Apple Card.
No, all I'm saying is that Chase should pull the entertainment credit like Amex does and just say $20 from Apple.
It should.
Probably won't. But that's neither here nor there. I don't work for Apple
yet.
Even though I got a couple emails from them, I have not said I will go work for them. It's not happening right now.
Yeah, pilots, stop calling out. No, keep calling out. If you're in a state where you cannot fly, keep calling out. I'd much rather you do that than try to fly the plane in that condition.
Yes.
Because we've seen too many cases of pilots trying to do that and it not ending. I don't look at. Anyway, let's jump into topics because I don't want to talk about plane crashes anymore. Lonnie, let's start with your topic this week.
Yeah. So once again, most of my topics come from conversations that I have with other folks that really make me think, or the ones that kind of sit around rent free in my head for a while. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's talk about this on Monday when we record this our show, that is, for y'all that don't know. But before I get to that, actually, I almost forgot, RJ. I want to go back because you and Matt were talking on Stack Your Life. Even though I can't join because of dad duties, I do like to listen when I get a chance. And you were talking about a coworker that was, I believe the statement was like, how can you do that and I can't? And we make about the same amount of money. We got to let that go, y'all. Like, the amount of money somebody has nothing to do with the amount of money somebody. RJ could be a trust fund kid for all you know. So that has absolutely nothing to do. Also could have made better financial decisions. So you got to quit keeping up with the Joneses. And the reason why I'm bringing this up in context, because this also tied into my topic this week, where it comes down to frugal travel. Where what's the definition of frugal travel? But instead of thinking of it from the side of the viewer, let's think of it from the side of a creator. And which side of the coin do we land on? Are we the head side? So would you consider us, or us individually, so each one of you will have your own particular answer, do we provide frugal travel tips? Or the tail side of the coin, are we travel hackers and enthusiasts that find ways to subsidize travel or experiences? Those are not the same thing. Are we giving tips for people to travel cheaper? Are we providing tools and resources that help them subsidize the cost of travel or subsidize or enhance their experiences? Is it A or B, or could it be all of the above? But I say all that because we probably all had some moment or point where someone had talked about, why do you have so many credit cards? You must not be doing something right. And then we respond with, oh, I use them for travel. And they're like, wait a sec, how are you doing that? A lot of mind your business, go get your stuff together, Karen. But when it comes from us as a creator, as the professionals in the room, if you will, are we providing information for frugal travel tips or subsidizing travel? Matt, I'm going to start with you on this one. Hopefully I made you think a little bit.
A little bit. So I think I'm of the mind of the community as a whole is all of the above, because you do have people in this community who are travel hackers, are enthusiasts, they know the ins and outs of booking through booking Star Alliance through Star Alliance partners, or booking non-Star Alliance with Star Alliance partner A to book a partner airline that they know how you can get a redemption with it through Air Canada bookings on Etihad, and getting Etihad the room for way fewer Air Canada points than you'd have to book through, or sorry, Etihad is the apartments. The apartments on Etihad, booking it through Air Canada and saving yourself thousands of points, and just paying those fees and not having to rely on Point Boost to guarantee 2 cents per point to get Etihad, to get the apartments on Etihad. There are folks in this community who know that, those hacks, know that in and out. Like the Chads of the world know how to do that. And he's even like adding value in other discords where he's going in there and offering his thoughts and booking capabilities on in a couple different areas. And he's got his channel. I do think there are folks who will try to provide more frugal travel tips. Here's sales, here's point boost, here's opportunities to purchase points to subsidize your travel a little bit better. Because if you can buy your points at half a cent per point, but you're able to get like really strong redemptions at Hilton for 1 or 2 cents per point, you're making out like 4 times better than the price that you purchased. So I think as a community, there's both. Me personally, I try to be like, I know that my lane, my niche is like the news, sort of rumors, whatever analysis I can provide to the news. So I'm not like in either of those lanes. I know that those are not lanes that I can jump into yet. Of those 2 lanes, I would probably be trying to get into the travel hacker and enthusiast side of things, just so that I can show, hey, using your Air Canada points that I moved over from Wells Fargo after Wells Fargo becomes an Air Canada transfer partner, I was able to take 100,000 points from Wells Fargo, move them into Air Canada, and I was able to book like these 4 flights on like really good metal that I'm going to enjoy my time with my family flying to this place. And you can do this too by taking these steps. So I think I think the community can be all of the above. I think us individually, it would be more what's in our wheelhouse. I would probably be more on the frugal tip side of things, just providing, hey, here's a point purchase opportunity. Stack that point purchase opportunity by getting additional cash back. You can use that cash back however you see fit, maybe to buy more points, or stack it in a 529, put it in your IRA, do whatever you want with that additional cash back. It's not free money because it's money earned from money that you spent, but that's money that you weren't getting without going through the process of getting that stack done. I think like I can hand out tips here and there. I would like to move into the travel hacker side of things, but that is not my wheelhouse, and I know that's not my wheelhouse. So I am going to stay in my lane until I can merge over to the other one. But I do think the community as a whole is all of the above. And there are plenty of opportunities for travel hacking and plenty of opportunities for frugal travel tips. Like point stacking is a travel hack. I don't know that you would call that a frugal tip. Or maybe you define it as both.
It's first one, then the other. So it's not either, but one leads to the other, in my opinion. Point stacking is a hack. Once you have said points, I would consider that the frugal travel tip.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the community as a whole is both. I think me individually, I'm in that frugal lane, but I would love to merge over at some point.
Got it. All right. Which bougie co-host am I going to go to next?
Not me, because I ain't bougie.
One has openly admitted, I will pay extra, and the other has said, I have status and I spend money on groceries and I have so many points and miles that I will subsidize my bougie with my points and miles. I'm going to pull the good old fashioned ladies first. So, RJ, what side of the coin or what side has your coin landed on?
I don't think I'm on either side. I like the
Ooh.
philosophy of credit cards. I like the punditry of talking about credit cards and travel and things, but I don't hack things. I admit in the thing in our Discord all the time. That's not why I do this. I do it for like perks and status and stuff like that, but that is so tied to me and where I live and how I travel. I travel differently than 97.3% of our Discord, right? I am incredibly specific in how I travel, and the things that I believe in travel are just not compatible with most people. A lot of people have kids in there, they have partners, they want rooms inside of rooms. Like, I am always going to book first class, regardless of if it's a 15-minute flight or a 15-hour flight, but I want a standard room at a Hilton. So I am a very weird traveler. I don't buy points. I have a very sort of eclectic sense of how I personally do this. But my favorite thing in the world is to talk about it as philosophy and as a debate stage. I am from a world of sports. This is sports debate to me, right? Like, much better behaved than most ESPN panels at this point, but same idea, right? So for me, I am not going to tell you how to hack things. And I am not going to tell you how to save money because I just pay cash for most of my flights and then occasionally will use 200,000 points to take my parents to Hawaii. So for me, I am neither, but I will have a conversation with either side and go from there.
I respect that because it's honest. You are everything you said is you just repeated stuff you previously said. So she's being honest, y'all. She will just pay for what she wants and does not necessarily care about what it takes to get it. Just get it. That is RJ. Craig, on the other hand, this dude, what landed facing up on your coin flip here, Craig?
I think we all know which way my coin faces, and it is bougie. I'll say this, and to Matt's point, I think as a whole, the community, we want to see how can I get 37,000 cent per point to get on the Emirates first class flight to Dubai when I've never had any desire to go to Dubai, but points. And that's why I really enjoy creators like Dugras, right? Because Dugras is quite literally going, hey, yep, spent $112 to go see the president's grave, which, never mind, I'm not going to make that joke because I don't want RJ to have to edit stuff. For me, though, I can show people how to do the economy side of travel hacking, but that's not where I am in life, right? I do things that I find enjoyable, and what I find enjoyable is figuring out how do I turn these points into memorable experiences for me and my wife. I'm going to tell you all this. It's a place in a few major cities, but it's called Ancient Air Bathhouses, and it's quite literally you just get in there and there's a bunch of hot tubs and a bunch of cold plunge pools and steam rooms, and we go on people watch, and that's how I use 50,000 American MR points. Because I just said, yeah, we're going to book a Pendry and then we'll charge it to the hotel because that'll give me 5x on my platinum or 4x. So I'm here for the bougie stays, right? I want to save money, but saving my money still means that I get to go and do bougie things, and that's just where I am as a person. I I find value in getting that roadside hotel because you're on a road trip going to the national parks, but that's few and far between. I want to hit every national park, but even that itself is bougie. Have you seen the prices for a hotel room in Zion? They start at $600. I just don't think that for what I enjoy and what I guess I can call myself a creator. I'm not really creating much. I'm not helping in the creative process. But
You're doing
if
this
I am to make a
show.
channel, what's that?
I said you're doing this show, so
Yep.
Yeah, but there are three actual creators here. But yeah, no, if I ever do make a channel, you do not need to worry about Craig trying to show you how to book the courtyard at the airport. That is not what we are on.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I would also add on to that, though, to all except for RJ, because RJ technically bowed out, is that we all had to start somewhere. Like when we first started, none of us, our first booking was not the presidential suite of the Intercontinental. Like we all had to start somewhere. So it's like you start off frugal anyway.
Yep.
Then as you become more accustomed to it, as you start figuring out, making your own grooves in the ice, if you will, how you can enhance that into the bougie, whatever you define yourself as bougie.
No, that makes sense. My first booking was a Hyatt for 9,000 points on a weekend. It was a studio? I want to say it was a King Studio suite, but it really wasn't much of a suite. No room in the room, but 9,000 points. I didn't pay $1. I paid with points that I had earned from my spend elsewhere. So that was cool. Nice, quick, easy, and then you go from there. Today I spent 46,000 True Blue points on flights, 4 tickets. That would have cost me like $1,100.
Space in
About the
back of bus,
bougie.
middle aisle, middle seat next to the bathrooms.
We're flying even more. I'm stuck in the middle seat because if I book, I know that if I put my partner in the window and me on the aisle, someone is going to book that middle seat, and that is just not going to be the day I'm going to have. So I'm going to sit in the middle seat and hope that nobody picks that aisle seat and even more space.
See, I would do it anyway because you can always just trade the person that's going to sit in the middle. No one that's sitting in the middle seat, like, no, I really wanted that seat. And then you can trade it anyway. So you might have shot
Yeah,
yourself in the foot and you could have had the whole row to yourself.
coulda, maybe. I don't know. That's
It's
fair.
like whoever's going to sit in the middle, like, hey, if you don't want to sit in the middle, you can pick. You want aisle or window. And they're always, unless they're a psychopath, and this is no offense to psychopaths, by the way.
No,
But
fully
unless they're,
intended.
yeah,
I mean, a little.
unless they're a psychopath, they're gonna trade you for that aisle or that window seat.
Okay, my partner's not going to move off the window, so I'm the one who's going to either do that trade, and I know how that's going to go for me.
So you got nothing to lose. You
So
either get a
Matt,
whole row to yourself, or you're gonna end up in the middle anyway. You got nothing to
Yeah.
lose. Go
if you
go
buy
change your
first
seats.
class, there's only 2 seats on each side, and then you don't have to worry.
That is not how JetBlue Even More works. But yes, if I picked a different airline and flew in a completely different class, yes, I could do that.
That's my advice to you, Matt. Here you go.
This
Except
is
I'd be
wonderful advice.
fair, but then I'd be flying in a CRJ probably. Anyway, let's swap target topics. RJ, your topic for the week.
So we talk a lot about credits. They're moving towards credits. American Express, Chase. Basically, everybody not named Capital One
Wells
is
Fargo.
moving toward credits. Wells Fargo, yes. I'll give you that. Would you rather have a larger credit that is more restricted, so it has to be through the portal, things like that, or a smaller credit that is more open? So like the EMX entertainment credit where you've got to a lot more options, or the dining credit on the Brilliant, where it's basically any dining, but it is a smaller amount. We're going to assume for the purposes of this exercise that the annual fee is the same either way. So it's not like you're getting a discount with these smaller credits. You might just get either more of them or same, they're just annual fee is not changing. Craig, I am going to go to you first, sir.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I enjoy shutting my brain off. I think, and that's going to sound so counterintuitive, but I just want things to be simple. Right now, I am doing all types of confangled math and items and scenarios to determine which of these near $1,000 credit cards are going to work for my use case. For example, CSR next year is $990. I'm assuming the Platinum next year is going to break $1,000 with an annual user. And there just needs to be some simplicity. And one thing that I will say that I've loved, and despite the programmatic issues, is the Bonvoy Brilliant, right? I just love the ability to have some flexibility, and it just works in my life. I know, like clockwork, oh, it's the first of the month or it's sometime in the month. I can just use $25 to load my Starbucks account, or I can just use this card. No, I'm going to get $25 back. I am a fan of flexibility just because I think that it lends itself to making things more usable for you. Chase Yokohama made a video, I think today, or it could have been yesterday. Wonderful creator. Follow Chase. But it's this video is the Platinum card is a wonderful card and absolutely terrible for 90% of people, right? We are convincing ourselves that we need these things because we value lounge access or all these other things. And if we're being honest, in some cases, you would be better off. You don't need, do you need FHR to book a hotel room at the Peninsula? No. Is it nice to say, oh, I'll get $100 credit? Sure, but when the price difference is $105, I think that for me, if I can't just not use my brain at this point, I don't want the credit. People will say the Amex Gold card is a terrible card because it's a coupon book. I can use every single credit on the Amex Gold card without thinking about it. Don't even got to worry about it. I just know, oh, yep, swiped it, tapped it, Apple paid it, and throughout my normal spend throughout the month, I will get all those credits. So for me, I will value flexibility and freedom over the need and necessity to leverage brain power when I'm already just trying to disconnect after having a long day at work or a long week or dealing with a 2-year-old. So it's just for me.
So how much would it have to be to flip it the other way? So if it's double, if it's $200 travel credit versus a $400 travel credit or a $600 travel credit, like at what point does it tip for you?
And see, this is the problem because the Chase travel credit, simple and easy. But if you told me, hey, Craig, you have to use this in the portal, it's got to at least be triple, right? You have to make it worth my while to do this. And on top of that, the stipulations for how it has to be used can't be too restrictive. That's one thing that I don't enjoy about the edit credit is that, hey, it can only be for certain edit properties, or you need to do 2 days, or this, that, and the other. I don't want to have to think about that. Sometimes me and my wife are just going to go and do a staycation, and we're going to leave Friday, check in, or coming home Saturday because that's what my mother-in-law can do for us. Or we might bring our son or something. But if I have to remember an extra rule to use it, I probably don't want to use it.
That's fair. Lonnie, your thoughts on higher, more restrictive credits versus lower, more flexible credits?
I'm going to go higher. I want more, but I want them direct. Very simply what Craig said. I want to keep it simple. And what's funny is that I love this is because I was actually sitting here in middle of working today, like for my next video, I'll actually like what I talk about, and I want to talk about the death of the simple card. Like they're just going away because of all these particular credits. Chase Sapphire is a great one. Their $300 travel soon to be former $300 travel credit where I didn't have to use a portal. I just had to use it. Very similar to the Marriott Brilliant dining credit. Anything food comes off. And with Chase, it was anything travel. You booked a lift, you paid for a parking garage. It just came off. Those are simple. And as Craig had said, the ones you don't have to think about. I want, if it's going to be money for like travel portal, which I'm not necessarily opposed to, I'm also going to agree with Craig, and that credit should be, once again, higher. If you're going to force me to use your product, it should be higher because multitude of reasons, overhead processing, all that other stuff, and your rev share or kickback you're getting anyway. It should be higher. Airline credits. Like, it's really nice to get a couple $100 in airline credits. It's not going to buy a flight. It's not going to buy you the best flight. In most cases, like here for y'all that don't know, I'm on the West Coast, but I can fly up and down the West Coast for like $80. That's great. Yeah, I could use a whole credit for that. You know what I mean? I know you can't do that on the East Coast, RJ. I know. I'm sorry. You can't get out of New York for $80. You can't get to the airport.
Albany County for $80.
You can, just not on Delta.
You can't get to the airport for $80 where you're at.
No, I can't.
No, that's fair.
But anything outside of that, like if I want to leave the Pacific time zone, yeah, like especially if I'm buying 3 tickets, that's not enough. It's great to have. I'm not going to knock it. Same with FHR. You get $200. I'll eat my $200. I'm not going to knock it. But with $200 off an $800 room, it just covered the taxes and the room service, really. Craig knows. Bougie self. But the dining credits, I think, should also not just be higher, but just should be more agnostic. Dining credit for everything. Once again, using Brilliant. Once again, going to like American Express Gold and Platinum, like the $10 and $15 Uber credits you can use for Uber Eats. It doesn't say you have to use Uber Eats for the Mexican spot. It says use Uber Eats. To have that freedom is, I think, what it's more importantly what I would want. And I would actually, as long as I can still remain getting value out of the card, I would actually pay for a card that has more of the simple features and more of the simple credits, or the, as Craig likes to call it, the ones I don't have to think of. The other aspect is to have, now this has nothing to do with the credit card companies, this is all pure me, ways that I can stack and hold on to those credits. Call it a gift card or whatnot. I know in airlines, there are ways for airlines, book a trip, cancel it after 24 hours, get a future flight credit. You didn't hear that from me, but it works. You could stack them that way. Or like a travel credit or retail credit, no worries. The rumors with the Platinum, I got y'all covered. I already know they work. If the rumors are true, I already know how to get those retail credits, y'all. And I will
let us know next Monday.
Become a member of my channel or this one because I will spill all the beans. But I already know those will work because I've done them before with American Express when they're doing their testing, especially ones with Lululemon. But being able to like hold on to them, find a hack, path, stack in whatever way, so I can take those credits, hold on to them, very similar like United Travel Bank. That's one that's available today in the current world that we live in. So I can just keep stacking it until I have enough credit, that is, to book whatever it is that I want. So it's not just like a $200 thing. So to go back to your question, 1, keep it simple, but 2, give me more. If we're going to keep it simple, or you're going to force me to use like a certain way to redeem it, give me more.
I think that is fair. Matt, where do you fall on the scale that I have set up that the industry seems to be pushing us towards?
Like my colleagues, I would say I would fall on the side of larger credits. If they're semi-restricted, that's fine. I would Much rather see, so I'm going to use the Sapphire Reserve as an example as well, because it's the one I got. That Apple credit, if that Apple credit was Apple One, just an Apple One membership, like that is for a year, what, maybe $400, especially if I got a couple of terabytes of space, because Apple likes to charge a stupid amount of money for space. It doesn't cost what Apple charges you. Just know that. It really doesn't cost what Apple charges you. Anyway, I would do that. The travel credit, I would keep open-ended in the way that it is. That would be great. A larger credit there, $300. That's awesome. I would get more value out of like their membership credits where you have the Dash Pass membership. Skip the $300 broken up into $25 increments with Dash Pass. Give me 6x earnings at Dash Pass. Like, I would take the Dash Pass subscription. I want the membership, but I want higher multipliers to use Dash Pass. You don't have to you don't have to credit back $30, $25 a month to me. You don't have to break it up in the stupid way that you do it. If you're encouraging me to use Dash Pass because you're giving me Dash Pass for free, higher multiplier, I'm going to spend money at Dash Pass. The same would be true with Instacart. Same would be true with Lyft. Don't give me $120 in Lyft credits and 5 times points on Lyft rides. Give me Lyft Pink every year, a Lyft Pink membership that's $99 a year, and let me earn my 5 times points. I don't need the $10. I don't want to think about the $10. I want the membership. I want the benefits of that membership. I want the savings that I can get. I want the free, like the continuing Grubhub Plus subscription from Lyft Pink if I was going to be on the Lyft Pink, if they were doing a full Lyft Pink credit, not the Lyft Pink All Access, but a Lyft Pink. I get Grubhub Plus now just for being an Amazon Prime member, but whatever, neither here nor there. But I want the benefits of the membership. I want higher multipliers with the membership. That would be a way for me to spend with them and not think about it, because I don't want to min-max. I don't want to think about, oh, did I use my $20 ink credit this month at Instacart? I've got 2 ink cards and they're both attached to my Instacart credit. Did I use my full $40 this month? Did I? I don't remember. I don't want to think like that. And I don't want to think about the 30, like breaking down the $30, like making sure I check the box on all $30 with DoorDash. Give me a Dash Pass membership. That's valued at $120 a year. Give me a Lyft Pink membership. That's valued at $100 a year. Give me a Instacart membership. Value that at 96 or whatever. And now give me elevated earnings in all 3. I will use my card. I will use my card that's attached to those high elevated earnings. I will buy the things. I will pass go. I will try to collect $200, although that's not necessarily the point. But I will do the bigger credits if they're semi-restricted, just so that I can get them, just so that I don't have to put as much brain power into them. Like full Apple One with my Sapphire Reserve, sweet. I would get full use out of that.
Still $20.
Yeah.
Still $20.
Yeah. The StubHub credit, or if you've just done like a general entertainment credit, $300 broken up. This way and you could limit it to ticket resellers, a ticket reseller credit of $300. That way I can pick whether it is StubHub, SeatGeek, Ticketmaster, and Live Nation, whatever path I choose to go. I at least know that it's $150. And I think all of those companies pitching in would have been better for Chase, because that's more money in revenue for Chase anyway, than just tying your anchor to one company. So I would like to see like the larger credits. I would love more. I would even just take memberships. Just give me memberships and let me chart a path from there. And with that membership, one of the other benefits on the card, give me higher earnings than my card gives me. DoorDash, give me 4 or 5x. Lyft, give me 5x. Instacart on the Sapphire Reserve, give me 3 to 5x on that as well. And give me the membership and let me spend my money that way, because I'm going to use that. I'm going to spend money there. Now you're still going to need ways for me to spend 1x on those thing on that card. I get it, but I will spend money. I will get you your swipe fees. Give me an opportunity to give you your swipe fees.
No, I think that's all very reasonable. I didn't really expect anybody to be like, no, I'll take less money. Like, it's fine. I know Craig leaned more towards the just make it simple, but that doesn't mean the portal can be fairly straightforward. Like the Capital One credit on the VentureX is not terribly restrictive. There are some weirdness, but it's not terribly bad. But it is
No, it's just
interesting.
$300 in the portal.
Yeah. So there are ways to do it. I'm very interested. The Platinum Refresh is going to be on either next week or the week after, most likely, and we'll dig into what they do. It'll be very interesting in a post CSR change world how things shake out, especially around credits and what they do there. No, I am in the same boat. As long as it's not ridiculously cumbersome or something like Equinox, I'll make a few. I'll jump through a hoop, maybe two. After that, we're done. Matt, the floor is back to you, sir.
Absolutely. And again, give me a membership, give me higher points earning. I don't want to do the chase. I don't want to do the lift song and dance. I really don't. But they flim flam, man. Craig, your topic this week.
Yeah, so my topic this week, we're talking about passing on cost. For those of you that are in the Discord, you will know I just got hit with a wonderful example of what tariffs look like firsthand. Bought a really nice backpack. I'm very upset about having to pay an additional $130 on that. But on the flip side of that, the textile leather workers that made the backpack gave me an initial $100 discount, knowing that we would get hit with tariffs for import fees. So we're talking about passing on the cost. We all know that swipe fees simultaneously save us some money because we were getting points, and things are getting more expensive. Tariffs are hitting imported goods. Small and large businesses are passing those expenses on to you, whether Walmart or Target or any other larger producer of goods wants to admit it or not. They are building and baking in that swipe transaction fee into the pricing. So keeping that in mind, do any of you have any good faith examples of who you shop with or putting customers first, or is the only thing that you care about when you're shopping saving money? Does customer satisfaction matter to you, and does it outweigh a saved money experience? So let's start with RJ.
So, Craig and I belong to a weird community called EDC.
Yeah.
That is a thing he and I both do, which means it can mean a wide range of things. Everybody from the prepper community to just people who are very casual. It is a wide conference of things. People of all spectrums. There's a lot of variation, right? And one thing you learn if you're part of this community more formally is there is more quality in things that cost more, usually, right? I'm a big fan of air backpacks. I have an air sling over there. My primary backpack is an airbag. I've had three or four of them because every time they come out with a new one, I go, "Ooh, shiny." I'm a backpack nerd. What can I say? And one thing about them is they are more expensive. Like they just are. They're like 200 to 300 for their sort of their bigger top end bags. But they're very good bags, right? And there's a lot of these brands that you can do. I'm a big fan of Chris Reeve knives, which is a pocket knife that are around 500 plus, right? But they're very good steel. They're very good tolerances. Chris Reeve literally invented or helped invent two steels that are used in a multitude of knives, right? They are very quality knives, but you pay for them. And my philosophy of being in EDC and also in points and miles is I am willing to pay more for a product that is very good, very well rated, and that I know is being made in a way, or at least I can be reasonably sure is made in a way that is above board. Like, I can't go to every factory in Indonesia and check the conditions, right? But I can look at the forums and I can look at the companies that are doing business and seeing if there's a bunch of reports of them having issues for different companies, right? I can at least do a little bit of due diligence. I'm in communities where we're talking about gear and people like who have Kershaw is a brand in EDC. Their knives can be very hit or miss. Spyderco, another EDC pocket knives. Some of their stuff is really great. Some of it hurts your hand just to hold. So I am a big fan of doing your research when it comes to this stuff and finding brands that mesh with you from both a philosophical, how the company works, and from a practical perspective. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's the answer I have for your question.
No, absolutely. And I realize this is a little bit of a kind of nebulous question because we're talking about consumerism, right? Because let's be real, there's no such thing as ethical consumerism. That's a shout out for Matt right there. But I think that there is a sense of how much do you actually value the customer? Because I want to be like really honest. The bag company that I ordered through, they don't have to do free alterations. They don't have to do all these other things. They didn't have to give me a discount for the tariffs that are coming up, right? But it's and it could, and let's be real, it could just be marketing. They could know that, hey, I know that if we show loyalty to our customers, that our customers are more likely to be repeat customers. And by George, they have done it because I am a repeat customer going back now for my next bag. But with that said, I agree with you. I think it's important to have a quality product. So, thinking of that, Matt, do you care about cost savings or is it purely just about quality when you're going and making shopping decisions?
So a lot of it for me is going to be buy once, don't have to try not to worry about it going forward. Like I last year I made investments into purchasing a new MacBook Pro. I wanted to do it last year because I didn't think we'd end up where we are, but here we are. Macs last a while. The MacBook Pro that I bought was replacing a MacBook Air that I had bought 4 or 5 years prior, right? It was one of the last Intel MacBooks, and it was just like it was well beyond time to replace that computer. But I will buy for quality. I will try to buy for quality first. One of the reasons why I've never upgraded my backpack, even though there are plenty of backpacks on the market that I would love to buy. Like the Ridge backpack looks amazing. The when LTT Linus Tech Tips launched their backpack series, like I was really interested in getting an LTT backpack. One of the reasons, the biggest reasons that stopped me is I have a Victorinox backpack that was gifted to me when I turned 21 right out of college. I still use that every day. That is just my throw it in my backpack. That is just my everyday backpack. That has gone through every political campaign I've worked on, that has gone through multiple trips, that has gone through, that is like the let me throw my work into another bag separate from the Victorinox duffel bag that I have. I've had that backpack now for about 16, 17 years. I haven't needed a new backpack. So I go out of my way. Like I want to convince myself to get a new backpack, but the one I have is perfectly fine. Like it doesn't make sense. So it's like that's quality right there.
Wait, you can just
Yeah,
not buy a new backpack? That's an option?
that
I
is
was not aware.
very much an option if you so choose to make that an option. My consumerism is in very much consumables. That is where a lot of my consumerism goes, as you can tell. So there's that. Anyway, I would much rather have quality, buy it once, have a really good company that will put the customer first. I do try to value that as best I can. Like companies that have we're awesome type policies where I say Apple for the most part, like you get Apple Care, most things are covered by Apple Care. If you do something really stupid and you cop to I did something really stupid, you guys probably shouldn't cover this, they may give you a one-time dispensation. Just, we don't usually do this, but, and that will keep you around. So I think that looking for strong, trying to find consumer-centric businesses is good. Now, does that mean that for anything I'm looking to research to buy, I'm looking for B certified companies, B Corps? No, I would love for for every company to be a B Corp, but no, that's not going to be the case. Companies are going to make their money. Companies are going to behave the way they're going to behave. Most companies are bad. Late stage capitalism, not great. Just going to put that out there. That's more a philosophical thing, not necessarily a political thing. Just saying. What's going to be interesting after this time of tariffs and import duties getting slapped on things is going to be what happens after. Because you had a very clear price of what it was, and then the price got slapped with the tariff. Go back to that same company in a more normal time frame and see if the price stays where it was like with the tariff slapped on, or see if they go back to what it was like before they'd have to put on the tariff. That will be a real big indicator of that company. Now, obviously, you'll still be using the backpack that you bought now, then, because you're looking for quality, you're looking for long-term stuff. You go back to that company as a repeat customer, and they're still doing that extra $130 that you weren't expecting to pay, but that's now just the norm because people paid it. That's not great. But that is what I expect from most businesses, because I don't believe most businesses operate in good faith that way, or going to operate in good faith that way. B Corps, maybe. And if you really want to be like, try to be as super ethical about it as you can, as you want, try to prioritize B Corps. But B Corps also can get away with some nonsense because B Corp is just a certification you can pay for.
Yeah.
Which, when you pay for the certification, it doesn't mean that you're following the guidelines of that certification. So there's that. Yeah, I just fall into, most companies are bad. Most companies will do bad things, and they're going to do it in the name of profit. And if you want to shop for the cheapest possible price because of that, I'm not going to follow you.
No,
I
that's
try to
real.
find quality,
And
but
yeah.
yeah.
And just to be fair, even if they did slap on an extra $100, unfortunately, it's still the cheaper option of the two because I shopped around. I genuinely shopped around for this bag, and the closest equivalent that I could find was probably going to be about $1,700. Yay, competition!
You could lose
But
that
now
bag in Phoenix,
I'm not going to be on an Allegiant flight anytime soon.
but they're revamping their loyalty program.
You know what?
Hard.
If Allegiant told me right now that each one of their points was going to be worth 5 cents a point, I still wouldn't fly those flights. I love
Fair.
that the Raiders have Allegiant Stadium. That's good for them. I will not be on your flights. With that said, Lonnie, are you looking to save money? Are you looking for quality, or is it a kind of a smattering of both?
I choose quality plus longevity, and I will pay for the combination of both of those things. So a couple of weeks ago for the podcast, it was just Matt and I, and we talked about this as well. There are some brands that might have a heavier price tag, but the price of it is so much worth it. One of them that we talked about was Toomey. I am a fan of Toomey. I have two Toomey backpacks and I have a Toomey sling. My toiletry bag is Toomey, and that's actually the example that we have brought up in that particular episode. Is I've had that toiletry bag probably like 20 years, and it looks like the day I bought it. It goes through the trenches. It had between all the stuff I stuff in it. It could be sharp items, dull items, overpack, put stress on the zipper, something spills, throw it in the washing machine, and that sucker's still kicking. You had mentioned your Toomey backpack. I don't know why they don't get dirty. as much as they get sat on the floor, they just don't get dirty. The ballistic nylon never frays. And if something were to happen, Toomey 100% takes care of it. Even if they don't make that anymore, they're like, hey, let us take care of it. We'll try to repair it. We'll try to fix it. And if not, they'll replace it in some way, shape, or form. With keeping in the sentimental value. Oh, you've had this for 20 years. It must have something. We'll just give you a new one, but keep the old one, man. Do what you will. We're just going to cut it up and throw it away. So if you just want to hold on to it, that's good customer service, in my opinion, which is one of the reasons why I keep going back to them. Well, when I actually need something, not falling into consumerism. And I also mentioned that I shop when they do the sales, and I bought most of my stuff from the outlet mall. So keep it over there. Still to me. Anyway,
Yeah.
Level 8, the luggage company, is really good with customer service as well. I have some of their stuff. I will still hold on. They have the smoothest rolling wheels in the airport. Full stop, period. If you want to argue with somebody, argue with your mama. The absolute smoothest wheels. But once again, if something were to happen, so one of my level 8 trunks recently, not the zipper itself, but the little pull thing on the zipper. So, like the zipper part that opens and closes the zipper. But when that thing snaps, it's like really hard to use your thumb to open, close it. I took a picture of it, called level 8. Not only did they send me a replacement, not a suitcase, a replacement for the zipper, they also sent instructions on how to repair it. And it literally took me like 30 seconds to completely repair their zipper. And now it's back to normal and back to being perfect. But even if they couldn't, if that was not the case, it's like, oh, we know exactly what happened there. Here, let us take care of this for you. And when you get it, here, watch this video, this YouTube video. They sent me a video on how to replace it. Perfect. And they're like, if that was not the case, they would have completely either repaired it or fully replaced the luggage. Depends on geographical location when you do the math. Is it going to cost more for us to just send out a new suitcase or have this shipped, repair it, and all that? They do their math just like any other type of recall as well. Some other brands, Herschel. I don't know if you've ever heard of Herschel. They make backpacks. They now make luggage. By far, another one of the best customer service companies I've ever dealt with.
Wallets too.
Yeah, they make wallets too. I remember they started off with backpacks, and they've really branched out over the last 10 years. But every single product that I've had of theirs has been 100% quality, 100% top notch. And I've had situations where my luggage has gotten damaged. The only negative aspect is they just replace things without. So if you had like a certain pattern, because they hit mainstream by their patterns, the different types of patterns in which they made their luggage. If they don't do that pattern anymore and you break it, SOL, you ain't getting that pattern again. You're just going to get you can just go get credit or get something similar. But there's been times where I've some of my soft-sided luggage, which I don't use anymore. Now I'm full hard-sided luggage, but it will get frayed or scratched or ripped from traveling. You just take a picture of it, call it, because it's a lifetime warranty, and they'll say, here, go through these steps, destroy it, and we'll replace it. And they've replaced it every single time. I still have backpacks that they've replaced where I just like, oh, I already have another one of your backpacks that replaced it. I got brand new backpacks, and I just found these because I cleaned up my garage, sitting in my garage that I've had for decades, that I'm just like holding on to because I'm like, I don't need to use it because this other one is so durable, the quality is so good, and it hasn't been destroyed yet. So Herschel, another great one. Like I said, I've had their backpacks, I've had their sling bags, I've also had their luggage. Never had an issue with them. Matt called out Ridge. Ridge is another great company when it comes to their customer service. I actually got to meet one of the co-founders of Ridge, who is very hands-on in their daily operations. He is very big on his customer service and making sure that their product always shows up in the best way. Actually, them and Herschel, they don't want ratty tatty broken or damaged products out in the public. They don't want me to have like their wallet, or in Herschel's case, have a suitcase or a bag that's damaged. They don't want that image. So they're just like, let us know if it's ever damaged. We'll take care of it so that they always look their product always looks the best and you always look your best. And I think that's a really great business model. And then last but not least, it would be doing a disservice, and we can talk about this one in the comments. Walt Disney himself, the man, not the company, the man, built a business around customer experience that was highly successful. Started over 100 years ago, probably one of the originators when it comes to animated movies. And now look where animated, not just Disney movies, animated. Spider-Verse. Can we talk about how animated movie? Could we just talk about how awesome that is? Have not watched.
I'm so tired of it being delayed. I want my third part so bad.
Animated movie. That's all I'm saying. If it weren't for Disney, we would not have Spider-Verse. Period.
It's true.
Full stop. I have not watched K-pop Demon Hunters, but I have heard that it is like up there. Maybe I'll watch it on my next flight. I don't know. Anyway, once again,
it's pretty good.
Animated movie we would not have if it weren't for the experiences in which he instilled in how to make an animated movie. That's the point that I'm trying to make. And then, of course, we can't talk about Disney without actually talking about his theme parks, which started over 70 years ago now. He sold an experience. And now look how much that experience costs. Where people save for years. People go broken in debt for that type of experience. It's not about the money. He'll always say it's about the memories. Well, actually, he never talks about money, so that's not actually a statement of his. But it was, do not sacrifice the experience. And I think out of all the stuff, now that it's fully corporate, of course, he's passed away. I don't even think a direct descendant of his is managing the daily operations for Disney anymore. I know, I think his granddaughter, or his niece is on the board still, if anything. That's me going to my business side of stuff. But that's basically about it. And yet, that company knows we cannot sacrifice the experience. You do not break the magic of our theme parks. And people will continue to overpay. So those are my 5 companies in which I think are good faith businesses that actually hold on to the customer satisfaction or the customer experience first.
I appreciate it, sir. And I appreciate all of my co-hosts for chiming in and giving us a little insight into how you make those consumer choices in your own life. And so I will now hand the floor back over to our captain and savant of the hour, Matt.
I don't know about savant. I will say, though, I did the math. That $300 Victorinox bag over the last 15 years, that's $20 a year. If you want to save money long term, buy quality. Other things, Lonnie mentioned something that was super important that gets glossed over: right to repair and repairability. Those are huge. I did give Apple props before because Apple makes products that last. You do have to take it to Apple if something happens. There's no way to fix it yourself. That is a mistake on Apple's part, but that is a very chosen business model for them. It sucks that less reputable or lesser companies in the personal computing space have taken the same thing and they're not nearly as good as Apple at repairability, or not repairability, but taking things in for repair. Lenovo is not going to approach it the same way that Apple does. HP is not going to approach it the same way that Apple does. Dell might, but you'll have to pull an arm and a leg and call American Express. Yeah, but longer term, the longer you can hold something, the cheaper it is to have bought up front. That $800 suitcase, if that $800 suitcase lasts you 15 years, that is less than $100 a year that you own that suitcase. buying cheapies every couple years, $50 here, $50 there, $50 somewhere else, you could eventually run into that $800, especially if you're buying for multiple people all at once. It adds up. Anyway, my topic for this week, looking at Chase and American Express, both have started working with cryptocurrency companies, specifically Coinbase. In the case of both Chase and American Express, they both have deals with Coinbase. American Express is providing their credit card, and Chase is going to be doing something where you can turn ultimate reward points into cryptocurrency capabilities, the ability to trade from your ultimate reward points, the ability to put money directly from your Chase account and move money and put money into Coinbase directly from your credit cards. Probably going to cost you a cash advance fee, I would assume, but we still don't know the full deals on that. But they're starting to work with cryptocurrency companies. Is this going to displace travel as the be all end all of the points and miles world, especially the churning side of things? Could this be a release valve of sorts and start making travel a little easier over time, knowing that the price of things will always go up no matter what? Craig, I'll throw to you first.
Yeah, so I'll say this. I think that crypto is for a very particularly niche group of people. Technically, Bitcoin and crypto is not new. It has been around for a few decades, and blockchain in general. But I think that the general public is still iffy on it. I think that there's not enough regulation for it to take off as a mainstream item or a mainstream reward for people. Yes, you can see the value of it going up and down and some fluctuation, but I think it's just, for me, too niche of a play. Do I have some crypto that I own? Sure, but I'm not planning for crypto to be here with retirement. Same thing as Social Security. They're both going to go insolvent at some time in the 2030s, 2040s, and we will just be crap out of luck, right? I think that despite what some people may think, regulation is nice because it protects consumers and it protects the public. And until
Regulation
there
in this
is,
economy.
I think until there is just some actual standard regulation across the board. And the other thing is, there's no one particular country that owns crypto. So there's no one way to actually regulate it as you are thinking about how to go about doing this. So I think that it's a gamble, and gambles can pay off, right? Like, you can 100% win really big with crypto and say, all of my spending goes into Bitcoin. And let's say over 3, 4, 5 years, you have a Bitcoin that you have because they give you 3 to 4% cash back. Who's to say that there's not just an immediate crash, or that crypto does something? And let's be realistic too. Yeah, there are a few really huge, big wallet or blockchain wallet apps and companies out there, but more of them have failed and some of them you've just never heard their name. So who's to say that we don't invest in Haktua coin on the back end, and that's what's propping you up, and then all of a sudden it falls down to zero, or Dogecoin, or any of these meme coins, and then you're out of luck, right? And what happens to the rewards then? They're just they're hollow. So for me, I don't think it's a long-term play. I think it's a very interesting, right? I want to say, like, I love the marketing here. I love the uniqueness of it. I love that this is something that's different because the people are taking a chance on it. But I also think the average person doesn't have a true understanding of crypto. And people that are far smarter than me and far smarter than most people in the average world are looking at this, and they will know when to pull out. We may not. So that's my take on it. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful marketing. I think it's a good play in the short term, for me being 5 to 10 years, but I just don't think long term that this will be the play for us. And also, let's be realistic. We can look at, I got it right here, cover that. But Delta, if you think Delta is going to allow Bitcoin to take all of their users away and they not have something to say about their Sky Pesos program, you are mistaken. They will find some way to get people back to them for loyalty. So yeah,
I can't wait for Sky Miles Coin on the Ethereum network.
how
RJ,
many
your
sky
thoughts,
miles
sir?
do you need to get into a lounge?
More than a coin's going to give you.
So I'm hoping that the people who do the stupid things that I get very annoyed with go that way and then travel can calm down. That is my hope. That is my fondest desire. Is that all the people who try to churn by buying gold at Costco and who try to PayPal themselves a bunch of money and then spend a bunch of money and then use PayPal, like all of those things that just irritate me, I'm hoping that they go to the crypto and leave us all alone. Because they break things that normal people use and rely on and then wonder why they're getting shut down. And to me, that is more annoying than it is admirable that you have 4 million MR points. So I'm hoping they just go over there where inevitably crypto will crash because it seems to cyclically crash and they can lose their houses. I don't care. Like, I think the people who do these games should lose everything. That is just a thing I believe. I'm not saying crypto in general. I'm saying people who break things because they think it's fun to do. I just it bothers me. It deeply bothers me as a person. And this is not a credit card thing. This is just a life thing. People who break systems to prove that they are smarter than the system, not in a I know how to get approved for this card way, but in a I'm going to break these systems because I think I can break them and I want to prove how smart I am and I'm also gonna just be a jerk about it. That bothers me in any facet of life, really. I'm hoping that these crypto things just take those people out of the majority of travel side. I do. I This is a place where I am very much a hardliner because I find them abhorrent as a person. I don't have much else to say. I don't have much else to say. This is a place where I am not a black and white person in general when it comes to most things. This is a place I do not have sympathy. I do not have no, just no. I do not play in this arena.
Fair enough. Lonnie, close us out.
Yeah, I'm going to agree and disagree with RJ and Craig here, where won't necessarily say cryptocurrency is going to be a fad. I think it will be around long term. Now, the one to bet on, who knows? Like, you already missed the Bitcoin bubble, folks. If you're not in it yet, you missed it. But then, like, it's too easy for someone else to just create a coin. Like, we could create a stack your points coin and we could
Yep.
have it up there and out there in the next couple of days. Does that mean it's going to be the next one that blows up? Probably not, but it's possible. And then, just as you were mentioning here with Chase and American Express, there's also different crypto cards, a couple of them out there now. But I'm just going to use Gemini because Gemini is one of those cards where I'm not going to lie, like a year ago in 2024, look at this. What are they expecting? And it's blown up a little bit. It's gotten a lot of traction. I think it's an IPO right now. Like they're about to go public, to be completely honest.
Great. Make the Winklevi richer.
I don't think there was ever a problem with them not being rich.
No, but
I think they were rich before they were billionaires. I think they're okay.
they'll be fine.
I think they've always been fine.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Tangent.
Before the Social Network movie, before Harvard, they were already fine.
Yes.
So they're just more fine now. Oh, is what the point that I'm trying to make. But anyway, is this going to be the new thing? Is this going to take away travel? No. But I think it will. I think it's going to be a nice reprieve to have something else. So right now we have basically a left and a right. It's like your travel or your cash back. Now we're going to have a triangle, your travel, cash back, or crypto, basically. Now, is crypto going to stick or stay? That's up to us. That's up to us as the credit card consumers if it's going to work out or not. Cryptocurrency as a whole, I think is going to stay, especially once they figure out how to regulate it, and they meaning some of the global governments. Once they figure out how to regulate it, when was the last time you paid something in cash? We don't do it that often, is my point. When's the last time you actually needed a penny, and not because you were at the gas pump and you didn't let go of the handle fast enough? When's the other time that you actually needed a penny? I think cryptocurrency is going to be where it's at, where we're just going to, like in Star Wars, we're going to talk about having our credits. So is it the end all be all in the points and miles world? No, I don't think points and miles are going to go anywhere. I don't think cryptocurrency is going to change it in any way, Matt. But I am interested in seeing how, as a third player, as a credit card reward, it fits in.
That's fair. I would hope that there would be a release valve of sorts, but no, I definitely see where all three of you are coming from there. With that, do we have any final thoughts? I'm seeing head shakes. Cool. All right. As always, check us out at stackyourpoints.com. You'll get a link to the Discord. You'll get our individual channels, Lonnie and mine. You'll get the podcast we release on Wednesdays and Fridays. We do a live on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. You should check it out. We always think, oh, maybe we only have 90 minutes tonight. And it always ends up being like 2.5, 3 hours because RJ and I don't know when to stop. So stackyourpoints.com for all of that. We also would like to take this time to highlight our diamond and new members. Our diamond members, as always, are Rick Spleen, Rupert Pond, Double Animal Fries, AP, Keith, and Mitch528. We have a new gold member this week. We had James Ragland sign on as a gold member this week, so thank you so much for that, James. And Seabass has rejoined as a silver member this week, going through the membership ads from the YouTube. If I missed you, I'm sorry. But if you want to become a member, you can always join at the Stack Your Points YouTube channel, various membership levels. Check those out and join our Discord and let us know your corresponding membership level when you do. So thank you so much, everyone. We will see you next week, probably with RJ a little bit heavier in her pocket with so much Apple stuff.